Yeah,
I
I
could
was
start.
restarting Discord.
You're not going to interrupt me with
Test,
a test? Okay.
test,
All
test.
right. um, you find yourselves in the city of Meridia. You've all been summoned here by a handbill you found that had some interesting writing on it. Um, Everybody's handbill would have said something different. Whatever it is that would have drawn your character to Meridia for a carnival. So why don't we start here? Tell me, kind of, somebody just take the lead and tell me what your handbill would have said. There's a carnival in Meridia, and you felt an urge to show up and see what's
It's
happening.
called a handbill? I don't know what a handbill. Okay.
Like a
What if
flyer.
it's something like come one, come all, a fantastic carnival, Meridia.
A carnival that demonstrates like the good things from many different cultures.
We have beer.
A place you can help people and find answers.
Okay. So you've all arrived in Meridia. The first person you'd be, there'd be a note at the bottom of your flyer. Come, let me direct you toward Tyndall. And Tyndall's easy to spot. He's the carnival barker. And he's already speaking to a crowd when you arrive. You all kind of merge into the crowd with him. And he says,
You guys ready for this? Welcome one, welcome all, welcome to the short and welcome to the tall, welcome angels, welcome fiends, welcome to all from walks between, welcome to the carnival. Step right up and lay your eyes on our menagerie of the macabre, our gathering of the grotesque, our collection of the curious, our festival of freaks.
Nope.
Wait, the mic thing didn't
Your
work?
normal
What are you
voice.
talking about?
Yeah, I
Oh
was
god,
confused.
I need to fix that.
You were using voice changing programs or
Absolutely
something?
right.
It's working now.
Yes, that's... For a mere pair of copper coins, you can behold wonders beyond your wildest dreams and nightmares.
You seem to be breaking out when you use it, though.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right, folks. Just two thin coppers buys you a ticket to thrills and chilling revelations. Step right this way and through the first curtain. But not you, stranger. You stay here with me. I'm told that our gentle giant Hermos sent you my way. Seems you'd like to disappear for a little while out of curiosity. What's your trouble? Try to plant a stake in the wrong fellow's heart, or are you just running out on some burgomeister's daughter? On second thought, just keep it to yourself. We don't care what you're running from, so long as you don't drag it to our doorstep. I'm inside out when I say your visit could be more timely. I'm supposed to be running herd on all the new Georges, not just you, but another barker will have to walk the talk today. You look puzzled, stranger. Quite right. I'll bet you're having just a little trouble following my words. Get used to it. Inside out means honest. I'll give you that one for free, but don't expect too many more favors because nothing comes free at the carnival. You see, we troopers just love talking over their heads of you Georges. I must be feeling generous because here's another one for free. Georges. That means anyone who's not with the carnival. You'll hear a lot of words like that one. No one's ever going to sit you down and teach you what they mean, but don't worry, you'll pick up the lingo soon enough. As you wander around, you'll hear some of your fellow Georges use words like freak when they're talking about troopers. I'll warn you right now to leave that kind of talk behind if you want to come with us. Freak is a very special word, my friend, and you haven't earned the right to use it. Yes, it's true, I use it myself, all the troopers do. But it's different when we say it. When it comes from our lips, we're just saying we aren't like you Georges. I've never heard a George say freak who wasn't casting an insult, calling someone a monster. And most troopers have heard more than a lifetime's worth of that kind of bile, so if you label someone here a monster, George, you'd sure better mean it, because you're going to have to defend yourself. Are we clear? Tell you what, George, let's make a game of our little encounter. We'll call it, How Long Is Your Life? Here, pick a card, any card, and put it back in the deck. If I can guess which card you picked, I promise we'll get you out of these parts safe and sound. If I can't guess your card, we'll leave you here to face whatever fiend or foe has you running. Sound fun? Sound fair? Well, I think so. Your card is the Ace of Bowls? I'm just going to get through this little piece here. Of course, you can breathe again, George. There was no chance of my getting it wrong. Just a little puckery at your expense. Oh, don't worry. All my magic tricks are done with smoke and mirrors. Welcome to the carnival, George. You can call me Tyndall. I'm the main barker for our acts, at least those who could use a little extra drama. Oh, there's Professor Picali over there, past that big tent. He's the barker for all the real freaks. But he and his cronies are a bit scurry, if you ask me. Just stick near me and you'll do all right. See, it's my job to take these George's coppers and make sure they keep their greasy little hands to themselves. With my silver tongue, I bring it all to life for them. I herd each group of Georges around the big ring and generally show off about 10 of their acts before I drop them all off at the Hall of Horrors for the big squeeze. The Hall of Horrors? Now that's Picali's crew. Tell you what, since it looks like you may be staying with us for a while, I'll treat you to a grand tour, just for one. It's a wonderful world we've made for ourselves in the carnival. We have delights for all the senses. Walk with me now, soak it all in. It'll do wonders for your spirits, George. Even if you ignore our performers, and I don't see how you can do that, we have endless colors to enchant the eyes. Look at our wagons, each one a work of art. Even if we do cover them up with our big banners, the wagons all belong to the Skura. And just behold those bombastic banners, each canvas filled with amazing images to entice the imagination, each one a masterpiece. I mean, if I saw a portrait like that one of a hideous man-beast, I'd be dying to see the creature in the flesh now, wouldn't you? Now look to your left, toward the center of the carnival. Do you see that fairly ordinary-looking wagon, just there? It's a bit hidden by our banners and booths. That wagon belongs to Isolde, our dear mistress of the carnival. She holds us together, but don't expect to deal with her much unless you're a problem. Hermes the Giant is her right-hand man. What's that? Don't bother asking about Isolde right now. And if you keep interrupting my spiel, I might just leave you at the Hall of Horrors and let Picali pickle your brain with those lectures of his. Anyway, as I was saying, the carnival is a feast for all your senses. Lay your eyes on the wooden masks and canes our artisans sell. A little bit of the carnival you can take home with you. And a bargain at twice the price, if you're a sucker, that is. And do you hear those dulcet gypsy tones from our wandering musicians? Let the music fill your ears. Listen closely. Hear how the violins seem to flow around you, flow around the carnival. Even when you can't see them, they stay with you. As if the musicians are playing just for you. Mesmerizing, isn't it? You should ask them how they do it. They won't answer, of course. Good luck getting the Skura to answer anything. But you might enjoy asking just the same. And now, my friend, take a deep breath and smell that air. Take in the aromas from the sawdust to the sweat to the women's perfume. For that's the scent of motion and life itself. Why, I even like the smell of those spitting, sputtering candles that Woodenhead makes for us. Who's Woodenhead, you ask? Patience, patience. You'll meet him soon enough. Of course, not even Woodenhead's candles compared to the alluring flavors of our exotic foods. Yes, that's right, the food will cost you a few coins more, but it's worth it. Every coin you spend repays with a new wonderment. Everyone loves a foreign feast, and so simple to produce. In fact, just between you and me, George, you'd be surprised how often whatever they sell as cheap gruel in this town might be considered an outlandish delicacy at the next. So how is it you came to this carnival? Let me guess, it was a fire, wasn't it? I knew it. Quite the eerie enigma, those sinister slips of paper. What's that, George? I have no idea who it is that foresees our coming and nails up all those little handbills. As far as I can tell, not even Isolde herself knows. But everywhere we go, at every single stop, at least a dozen flyers have been posted around to announce our approach. I often ask around, but nobody has ever seen our mysterious herald, who acts as our publicist. And sometimes a poster might appear in a spot that's been left unwatched for no more than a heartbeat. Stranger still is where those flyers appear. Naturally, we always find some in the expected spots. On the front door of a tavern, or on a post in the town square, for instance. They also turn up in the most peculiar places. I know of one flyer that was discovered nailed to the wall outside a second-story bedroom window, and another that mysteriously appeared inside a locked cell in a castle dungeon. And if you think that's odd, you should consider the flyers themselves. Each is a masterpiece of the inker's art. I've never seen two with identical letters or designs, so someone out there must be very hard at work. The flyers remind me of those clever little illustrations that fool the eye. Surely you've seen one at some point in life. There's one I particularly enjoy. Look at it one way, and it resembles a pretty maiden. Look at it from a fresh view, and it looks like a monstrous spider. The carnival flyers seem to trick the eye in the same fashion, but at a much more powerful level. Everyone who looks at a particular flyer might see something completely different. Some Georges might make out entire portraits of our performers, while others may just see the word carnival in weird script. Sometimes those phantom images fascinate the mind, sometimes they infect the soul with dread, but whatever it is the flyer shows, it always seems to pluck just the right heartstrings and lure the Georges to our camp, so I guess we should be grateful. However it is the flyers work, I wish I could meet the artist who creates them. I'm drooling to know how these blasted things tease at so much power without betraying the use of any magic. Well, of course I'm capable of detecting traces of sorcery. You know I told you all my tricks are done with mirrors, but you didn't ask how those mirrors are used, did you? Anyway, I don't think Isolde finds the flyers as intriguing as I do. I've seen her snatch them down from wherever she finds them, and they never leave her looking particularly pleased. Why doesn't she like them? Well, that's just one of the many things she keeps to herself. Try and ask her if you like. She won't give you an answer.
So that's where I'll take a break and let you guys ask some questions.
So, can you repeat everything you just said?
It was cutting out a lot, which I don't understand.
I'll
It was
send
working
you.
fine yesterday.
Yeah, there's a book. I'll send you the book. You can read it. You're at so set the stage. You're at the carnival. Carnival Barker is talking very fast. You're actually hearing about 30% of the words that he's saying. So feel free to ask some questions.
How long is the carnival gonna be here? I didn't know if we caught that or like in town. Is it staying here? Is it moving?
We're gonna be in town for a few more days. You know,
But you guys have many
wherever we
bars
stop
traveled
something,
Sorry.
Let me answer this question. Wherever we stop, something always seems to happen that demands our attention. Maybe we offer a haven to some pathetic George like you. Maybe we drop somebody off to make a fresh start. Sometimes we give a needy trooper a new home with us, or Isolde topples something that needs toppling. On the other hand, sometimes we just stop to buy fresh vegetables, so I wouldn't read too much into it, after all.
Is there anyone around here who needs some assistance or medical aid?
We take care of our own here at the carnival. Actually, you might like to give Woodenhead a look.
Where would I find that?
Right here at this tip. From draped in scales to embedded with nails, I now present you with one of our most peculiar performers, better known as Woodenhead. No, folks, he's not dull-witted, my friends, but he likes this name just the same. Take a good look at this gangly young gent and see if you can guess his talent. Does his exotic garb provide a clue? His shaven head? Or perhaps those rings in his nose and ears? You're getting warm. Woodenhead is a peculiar sort, but he's hard to dislike. He truly has the carnival spirit, and he revels in his own oddities. Some troopers came to the carnival because they had nowhere else to go. Woodenhead stays with us because there's nowhere else he'd rather be. Still haven't guessed his act? Watch carefully. Yes, he's about to tap that nail into his head. In fact, for just a single shining silver coin, you can tap a nail into his head yourself. Yeesh.
Oh,
Now he's moving on to the truly grotesque. I hate it when he puts that pike in his eye. And I still get squeamish every time he throws himself on that bed of nails. You can imagine how the reelers act. Sometimes another trooper steps in and helps with the grand finale, strapping Woodenhead into some torture device. The Iron Maiden is always a crowd pleaser. No matter what, Woodenhead just keeps on grinning. He never winces, he never bleeds. And after the show is over, he never has any marks or scars at all. I must say, that's just about all that separates his act from the torture sessions held daily in Meridia's dungeons. What's the trick? Excellent question, but it takes some explaining. Woodenhead sought out the carnival back in 743. A few years before that, he was apprenticed to a reclusive alchemist in Valakhan. Two things were true of this alchemist. He had devoted years to the creation of a potion meant to regenerate damaged tissue, and when he thought he had it right, he didn't hesitate to force his unwilling young apprentice to test it. So the alchemist strapped Woodenhead into a chair. Of course, Woodenhead had another name then, but he never tells anyone what it was. Anyway, then the master forced this vile green concoction down his throat. The result was a bizarre transformation. Thanks to the potion, Woodenhead's flesh could instantly and painlessly seal around any sharp object that broke through the skin, and he would heal the moment the object was withdrawn. Tremendously pleased with these results, the villain brewed up another dose of his concoction and downed it himself. From Woodenhead's description, the alchemist's demise was as messy as it was sudden.
Lucky for us, he sought out the carnival and he loves to show off his special talent. Works out well for him too, because between you and me, he didn't have much of a future as an alchemist. True, he does brew up quite a few weak little elixirs. He likes to squeeze the Georges with a little medicine show after his body-piercing act. But I suspect that the truly complex formulas are simply beyond him. He won't like me telling you this, but Woodenhead does possess his master's notes, including the formula for the miracle potion. Woodenhead tries to keep that a secret. Still, word has gotten out, and over the years, a few Georges have even managed to steal Woodenhead's notes long enough to brew themselves a dose of something. Naturally, they all died a bad death. Rumor has it that at least one of those brigands started to morph into some gangly green monstrosity before he met his end. Anything else I can show you? Anything else you'd like to see?
Do you have anything less gruesome?
In all my travels, I've never seen people that look quite like this. You sure none of them need my assistance?
Does he look like he needs your assistant, George?
I don't think he can provide the type of assistance he needs.
I offer counseling, both of the physical and of the spiritual nature.
Not. Who was talking about that? I was talking about beer.
I can brew beer. No, wait, no, I can't.
And now, laddie, I can brew beer.
so
Well, I would much appreciate trying some sometime.
what's there to do at a carnival? Never.
Never been to one either.
Well,
And most of my life
Well,
traveling
George, you
from small
walk
town
around.
to small town.
See the sights from the hideous man-beast to the living skeleton, the vampirus or the mister, the amazing soulless man, Madame Fortuna, our fortune
I
teller.
don't wait. Did you say vampire?
Yes, 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 we do have a vampiress. A real live vampiress. Would you like to meet her?
Yes.
Now I shall take you into the dark realm between life and death, but have no fear. I assure you countless wards and rituals keep these unliving fiends at bay. At least that's how I build into our next acts for the regular Georges. For you, I'll explain a bit of the puckery. All troopers are odd, but some aren't what they claim to be. Follow me to this wagon with all the curtains, and I'll show you what I mean. Behold, the Vampiress. Oh, I love it when you Georges scream every single time I whip that curtain back, every single time the Vampiress lunges forward, hissing at the crowd, held back only by those meager shackles, and every single time the Vampiress spreads her vast, leathery wings, we always end up breaking out the smelling salts for some fluttery reeler. It's grand. Strangers, meet Amelia. Amelia, meet our new mongrels. Yes, our fearsome Vampiress is just another trooper, but it's good to see the shock in your eyes. It means both Amelia and I have honed her act very well. Yes, we've used a bit of puckery at your expense. Certainly that raven hair, her porcelain skin, and of course those glorious bat wings would make our darling Amelia quite the convincing bloodsucker on their own merits, so perhaps you're right, the black satin and lace isn't needed. Very well, I'll admit that the berry juice staining her lips might be going to extremes. On second thought, of course not. I'll tell you a secret. Offstage, lovely Amelia is as far from a nightmare as one can get. Isn't that right, my dear? Don't worry about her shackles, George. She keeps the key in her own pocket. She's one of the originals, you know, and the troopers from the puppet show tend to be very particular about their freedom.
I put my holy symbol away and go, that's good.
I'll try to ignore the presence of this menace for this time.
She winks at you.
I
Smile
scowl at
back.
her. I scowl at her.
Plenty more sights to see. Plenty more questions to answer.
So, question: Do we need to be moving west, Sage? Like, is that the Rotlands in the west,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Right.
And which way are they going? Which way are they going? People, the carnival. Will they be leaving? Like, will they be heading away from the Rotlands or towards it?
What's that? Where's our next stop? My, but you are in a hurry to leave the spot, aren't you? As it happens, I haven't the faintest idea where we're going. None of us do. Well, maybe the Skura or Isolde, but I doubt it. And Isolde is no more likely to tell you than the Skura anyway. We troopers talk about it quite a bit, the mystery of the road ahead, but none of us has ever been able to find any rhyme or reason where we go or when we go there. Seems fairly random to me, actually. It could well be that not even the Skura who drive the wagons know where we're headed next.
So, what do you get to your surprise?
So, sorry, what was that?
Your surprise. What do you get to? You got contracts?
I don't understand your accent.
Well,
What are you asking about?
Yours too with the damn megaphone, but we listen to it.
Supplies?
Yeah, supplies.
He also said
Where do you
contracts.
get your surprise? Where did we get our supplies?
Yeah, your surprise.
I can tell you about the wagons. I can tell you.
So you said everywhere you go, you cause problems are around. Is there a problem right now?
No, hold on a second. Let me get to this question.
Yeah, they're dangerously low on beer and they need some more supplies.
You're gonna have to stop saying surprise. So let me tell you about the wagons. Turn your attention to our wagons, the meat and bones of the carnival. We might be able to get along without them, but I wouldn't care to try. Yes, I'm not surprised that you find our wagons familiar to the eye. Most of them started their lives as... Most of them started their lives as wanderers. You may have seen them around. I think you'll find we've made quite a few improvements, however, to suit our need. Each of the wagons serves as a rolling theater, a home for those who have no home, a pack mule, all in one. I call them our wagons, but technically that's not true. Carnival has about 40 now, and each one belongs to a member of the Skura who drives it when we pull up stakes. I've never seen anyone even try to take the reins. Maybe the Skura are the only ones who can keep with Isolde. Anyway, we troopers prefer to ride inside. Each one can carry up to 4 of us, but we're rarely that cramped. They procure a new wagon whenever they need one, but that doesn't happen more than once or twice a year as a rule. A few Skura disappear for a week, and then they come back with an ordinary rundown wagon. It's nobody's business how they do it. Once they're back with the carnival, they patch up the wagon and start making improvements, like makeshift stages and such. Where do they get the wagons? That's not my business to ask. Frankly, they aren't my area of expertise. They do what they do, and they go where they will, and I haven't the thinnest notion of what goes on inside their heads. Well, that's not entirely true, but I doubt you're in the mood for a ghost story.
Yeah, who talking about ghosts? I'm trying to sell you my beer. I'm the regular.
Oh, you are in the mood for a ghost story. He seems like he can't understand you. Well, let me take a moment to tell one. The Skura are not like any other. Mark my words, George. Most of them arrive here alone, meaning one by one. That by itself is strange because the Skura are typically a social bunch. Added to that, many of these gypsies came here injured or dying. Although they seem to recover awfully fast once they're here, and the other Skura painted their faces with their hideous paste. And they've all got uncanny powers you might earn from a trip to the graveyard if you catch my drift. For instance, I've noticed the Skura seem to have a knack for knowing when Isolde wants to pull up stakes even before she's announced it. They also seem to have a way of knowing things about people that no other mortal could even guess, not even other Skura. Watch out, because the Skura exploit their knowledge of your dark little secrets whenever they feel it's necessary. What's more, all of them seem to share some sort of mental bond. If one of them spots a George who's trying to run from camp with a pilfered trinket from one of the booths, they all zero in on him as if they share the same thoughts. And all this without uttering a word. They never do utter a word. In fact, they're mute. I've never heard one make the slightest sound other than the wonderful music that pours from their instruments. So, it's a ghost story. Where are the ghosts? They are the ghosts. So sure, some might disagree with me, but I know it's true. After all, at least one of their women came here after escaping the death squads in Septentrion. Not likely, is it? She made it out all right, but I doubt she escaped those squads alive. Try looking at the faces under those painted masks. It's not easy. That's because there are no faces, George. The Skura, our faithful drivers, those harmless entertainers strolling through the carnival while juggling knives and balls, they are the restless spirits who were murdered while apart from their tribes, and now they're unable to find their way home. Like so many other lost souls, they've come to Isolde and the carnival to find peace. And the wagons they bring and drive for us? Obviously, they were the very wagons they once lived in. Oh, so you think you know a ghost when you see one, do you? We'll see about that when I introduce you to the performers. At any rate, George, it's just a notion I cooked up. If you stick around long enough to come up with another one, I'd love to hear it. Anyway, I've become rather sidetracked. We were talking about the wagons. Our main concerns are utility and speed. Allow me to explain. Some of our troopers like to wander around the carnival mingling with the crowds. Hermos is a good example in those kiddie rides. Most of us, though, we prefer to perform from our platforms, so we set up these little wooden stages using the side of the wagon as a backdrop. The stage is just your basic skeletal structure, not much more than knee-high, but when we drape it with our painted canvases and hang banners from the sides, The wagon is transformed before your very eyes. In one fell swoop, we keep the Georges from creeping in too close, and we raise the troopers above the throng, where they belong. Quite often, we'll also install a side door in the wagon like the one you see here, so the troopers can get backstage if they need to, without having to get near the groping Georges. As I said, speed is a concern as well.
So you construct your stages from the wagons.
That is correct. As you see here, it's just a stage sticking out the side of a wagon. Speed is a concern, because it's Isolde who decides when it's time to hit the road, and she doesn't give very much notice. Sometimes we need to pull stakes and go very quickly. In fact, with all the ropes and pivots we have hanging off these wagons, at a moment's notice, we can just fold up the stage against the side of the wagon, wrap up the banners and canopies, throw our gear on top of it, tie it all off, and be gone in a flash. True, when the wagons are all packed up, they do look a fright, but they do the job. And that's not all. Some of our troopers have special needs, so we build whatever they require into their wagon. That's not even including lockboxes. Lockboxes, those are the caged wagons we use to contain particularly vicious exhibits. I have yet to see a creature that can bend the bars on a lockbox. But let me show you something special, George. This is my favorite feature, one we build into all our wagons. Ta-da! Yes, George, you're very quick. That is a secret compartment in the floor. And since you may experience it firsthand later, let me assure you that this compartment is big enough to hold you. It's no roomier than a coffin, but if it came to a choice, I think you'd rather we put you in here than in a bone box. No, we don't build the secret compartments just for you, Georges. They're useful for all sorts of smuggling.
I'm not George, I'm Sanal.
I think it's just something he says.
But I'm not George.
That's not important.
Okay. You George?
None of us are George. It's a
Doesn't
figure
matter.
of speech, I guess would be the word for it. He calls everyone George, I would guess.
Yeah, but
That's right, my dim-witted friend. I call everyone George, except for the troopers and the reelers and the mongrels, or the seers, or the skura, or the strings, or the squeeze, or the wisps, or the twisting.
yeah, but where do you get your beer?
I'm glad you're here too, George.
He doesn't understand what you're saying.
You're blasted, you motherfucking thing. That was something.
Try to speak slowly, I guess.
Nice.
He has no trouble understanding anybody but Shockscene. Or Stormforge Hammer guy, whatever your name is. Slag Hammer.
Never you mind. That brew's too good for you.
Oh, what do we do, guys?
Don't know, I've asked him that and he just keeps calling me George.
Tired of meeting troopers already? Well, you've barely met a quarter of our number. I guess you've had your copper's worth. I can see you're dying to know how we troopers got to the state we're in. So I'll tell you about the twisting.
Now we understand that. You've been following this crazy bozo. I don't even understand a freaking word that people say. Understand a business contract from the
Oh,
head
you
of
want to
a
see
house.
Bozo? You want to meet Bozo?
Don't know if I'll.
No. I'll tell you about the twisting, George. Clearly, it's not escaped even your meager attention that everyone in the carnival is, shall I say, abnormal. Here's the truth of it. Sooner or later, every Mongol becomes a trooper. Even you. Link up with the carnival, and it's just a matter of time before your body starts to warp. Soon you'll be one of us, George. In fact, the process started the moment you walked into our campsite. If you don't care for the thought of sharing our company for the rest of your days, I recommend you keep your visits with us brief. Don't worry, you aren't doomed. The twisting changes, it doesn't destroy. There are those who cry that the twisting takes decent folks and turns them into monsters, but they aren't seeing the whole picture. What the twisting really does is show you your secret self. It takes your essence, whoever you are at the very core, and manifests it in the flesh. Of course, for some, having their true selves revealed does turn them into monsters, but you don't have to worry about it, do you, George? What causes the twisting, and Inside Out, no one can really say what the powerful force is. It has a bizarre love for the ironic. Any little flaw in your character finds physical expression in your body. It's hard to say just when the twisting's effect will become noticeable, but you probably have a few days before it sets in, and there's no telling what will happen. You might wake up one day to find yourself completely changed, or the twisting may creep into you slowly over a few weeks. Don't bother trying to predict how the twisting will warp you either. It never manifests the same way twice.
So, okay. So if we stay with you for some reason, we'll be changed?
I think he said we already
You'll
are.
become more... You'll become more like your true self.
But I am my true self.
Huh.
Give me about another hour with this jug of brew. You'll see my true self.
And so just kind of an aside, the twisting always offers benefits to balance the drawbacks. Characters never become so badly twisted that they can no longer function, although some may have to learn new ways of accomplishing tasks they once did with ease. But like a twist will never rob you of your vital abilities, like a mage won't lose the ability to cast spells. Typically it enhances your areas of interest, albeit to a freakish extreme. It changes, it doesn't destroy.
Okay.
George does this?
I think you're George.
So he's George?
Yes, you're the George, friend.
I think Baylor's George.
How is our true self determined?
I think you know that, don't you?
I'm not George. I'm lost.
So
Can we really?
In other notes,
Oh,
Please
hell.
give more information about this.
Why not? Let's run
do
away.
you
and
have
join the
anybody
circus.
in your party who might be able to analyze kind of what's happened to some of the performers?
What do you mean? Like,
You want to know what the twisting is and what it's done to people. How would you go about finding that?
Medicine check?
I could check and see if it makes them evil. Even though I don't think it does. They seem like pretty decent people.
Ask about how they were like in the past, and then look at how they are now.
Yeah, I can tell you a little bit about that.
Yeah, the strange talking one has a
Let
point.
me first. let me introduce you to somebody else. This is the human knot. The human knot was once willing to do anything to save himself from danger. Now he finds himself literally spineless. His bones soften when he's terrified. The twist makes him unusually limber. Gets a dexterity bonus, essentially. His contortions allow him to escape from bonds as easily as a character possessing the, escape whatever that skill is, proficiency. Sadly, a pliable skeleton does little to protect against injury, and he suffers an extra point of damage per die from blunt attacks. Here we go. The Unreal. Here's another of our performers. She was a woman known for being a bad liar. Now she's literally transparent. In bright light, one can see bones, veins, and organs floating beneath her clear skin and cloudy flesh. Grotesque as this transformation is, it does grant her a bonus on stealth checks. The character already has this ability and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Bonus to stealth.
Was there anyone known for their viciousness or anger?
The Wasp Man. Used to enjoy spouting verbal barbs and petty cruelties. Now he has dark, barbed hooks sprouting from his tongue and his fingertips. He can attack with those barbs. He also has a bonus to climb walls, but he has a penalty on picking pockets.
Kinda want to see what this does. Maybe we should stay with them for a little bit, you know? Just.
Is there anyone currently going through the change that we could watch and monitor?
Well, they're also going through the change.
I mean more of a drastic variety. Someone you could see changing drastically.
What do we...
No, it takes between 6 and 14 days before the twisting becomes evident. And it usually happens pretty quickly.
And what's be causing this
A couple
again?
days.
So are you saying this is going to happen to us as well?
Oh yes, it's already begun.
What if we get out of here? What if we go away?
The twisting doesn't necessarily last forever. Once you leave the carnival, it slowly fades. The operative word is slowly.
Look, see, it's not permanent. And wouldn't it be interesting to find out what your true self is? You should just hang around with these guys for a little bit.
Why not? It's every
I
lot's
can
dream
sit
to
and
join the
monitor
circus.
someone as they go through changes.
Do we have a cleric with us?
I am.
You would also suspect that a succession of reasonably high-level restoration magic could remove these changes as well.
I have no access to anything like that.
I think he means like greater rest.
And it's just a suspicion. You don't know if it will for sure work, but there are some changes that you could probably revert with restoration magic. Of course, you could always kill the person and revive them. That would work.
That seems pretty drastic.
Yeah, that's pretty drastic.
I don't think knocking them unconscious and then stopping them from dying would do it.
He means killing them and bringing them
I
back
know.
to life.
That's also like 3rd level magic, man. That's like 4 or 5 levels away at least.
So everyone's...
What is this level of which you speak?
You know, when you get more experience, you become a stronger adventurer, capable of doing better things than you could before.
How much have you had to drink, laddie?
Is this some kind of jargon? Adventure jargon?
Just saying, as you get older and you get more experience, you
I've heard
learn to do new
stories
things.
of. What, none of you have heard the old stories of the adventures and the heroes? And how they gathered in a hall?
No.
Old.
Yeah, I don't understand it either. They just stood around in a hall together, and then they went and killed stuff in the sewers a lot.
God damn it! Does nobody understand what I say?
No.
I said old.
Sorry, George,
not
we don't
all.
understand
I
you.
thought you said all.
If you let him speak.
Go ahead, George. Talk.
Oh, y'all need to learn Dwarven, goddammit. No, I said old as in a question, not hall.
So, are we all agreed we're gonna stay with them for a little bit? Is that good with everyone?
Sure.
I keep saying it's every boy's dream to run away and join the circus.
Maybe them
I
around
would
for a
just
little bit.
ask to find someone I can spend time with who's going through the change and monitor how it affects them.
Well, what other questions do you have? Who would you like to see? What would you like to meet?
I'd just like to find one going through some kind of physical change so that I can watch it and see how it's happening.
Said you would have to watch.
Well,
them
stick
for like a
around, and
week.
I'm sure that'll happen.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to. I
Yeah,
planned on
six-
spending a
you-
couple
you'll-
days with
You'll
them.
watch yourselves.
Yeah, look,
Six
we'll
to
just
15 days
keep
or
track of
so.
ourselves, and we follow them around. It'll be fine. Be interesting.
So then, got a place to sleep?
Help them out with anything they need along the way.
I mean,
Hey, Mr. George, the dwarf, you share some of that beer? We're gonna be here for a while.
well, just so you know, Baylor has his own war horse and donkey and cart and everything along with him, so he's ready to open
Well,
it.
that's perfect. We can all share your cart. Perfect.
He's ready to open up his own beer
Yeah,
stand
you would
here at the
notice that some
carnival.
of the Skura have. You would notice that a Skura is already sitting in your cart, and 3 others are already decorating it.
So
Hey, look,
wooden
George.
carts
They're,
carrying
they're,
supplies.
they're decorating it with flowers. It's so pretty now.
Yeah, he's riding up front, controlling the donkey.
Hey, get
Looks
off
like
of
you're
that,
not
you
going to be
blasted
driving this
bitch.
cart if you come with him.
These
I
Sukura.
think that's the thing. They have to do the driving.
These Sukura are.
Oh no, I got the war
harmless.
horse, which has a rope tied to the donkey, and the donkey's just pulling the cart. It doesn't have a driver's seat.
What
There's
do
a
you mean?
place in the cart.
A rope tied to the donkey? There's no rope tied to the donkey.
Yeah, there is.
You could have sworn there was.
The horse is gone.
So these Sukura are harmless?
Either way, I got multiple tents and shit.
I've spent a lot of time around people who are ailing, in distress, so hopefully we can get some clue as to some way to fight this long term. I have some ideas, but no access to such skills.
It never hurts to plan ahead.
Why would you plan ahead? I mean, it's just a head. It sits on a body.
Oh my god.
Are you stupid?
No, apparently I'm George.
Hi, George. It's nice to know who he was talking to that whole time.
I have much bigger problems than you, people.
Was that a size joke for a dwarf?
No.
Yes.
This is too fun. Oh hell. Okay, next.
Next.
Yeah, so we're following the thing.
Well, they're not leaving yet. Carnival's still in town. Would you like to ask some more questions, talk to some more people?
I wish to just monitor and
I asked.
I'm gonna go around not talking but just staring at all of them and seeing the different. I want to
But
see
I
all the
asked-
different abnormalities.
I asked if the square were harmless or not. Like,
Oh, of course. Oh, totally harmless. Totally harmless.
What city are we in right now?
Meridia.
Meridia.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. They're gonna be moving
So
out
the
there too.
Skura
though.
are mute, insular to the carnival, wear magical face paint. They own and drive the wagons. Most are performers, and yeah, they're similar to clowns.
Well, if we're gonna follow him, I gotta go make some preparations. I'm going back to my brewery to stockpile some provisions for the trip.
The
AKA
provisions
stuff
are
to
already
sell.
on the wagon.
No, I just have a small cart.
Looks like a Skura. Yeah, looks like the.
Like I'm going
the
for a
cart
covered
is now a
filled
wagon?
with
They've already covered your wagon. They've added onto it and covered it, and looks like a couple of kegs of your beer are already in the back.
yeah, I'm gonna definitely need more than that if we go into different places. You know how hard it is to get.
That's only like
caravan
a
back
2-day
and-
supply for him,
you-
I'm guessing.
You pull back a tarp, and there are 12 more kegs.
Well, I guess
Hey,
that's
we can
enough
go
for a week.
now.
Yeah, that's enough for a week. Not just for me, I'm selling the shit. I mean,
For
the
what?
shit.
There's no such thing as money.
No, there's still things as money. We just don't need it as players.
Nobody needs it. People don't need money. People have everything taken care of.
And what's the point of merchants?
Your
So-
best bet would be to trade that beer for favors.
so are we adventurers who are endorsed by the king or the
No, you're just
government?
people from all over who have come together due to a flyer. It said come to Meridia. It had a reason that drew you in, and you showed up and met the carnival.
Yeah, I just thought that it would be a nice in character how do you call it? In character
The crown doesn't
explanation of-
endorse adventurers anymore.
like in character explanation of how we had access to basic gear like that.
As he said, anything you need is provided for you.
That's just how this economy works.
Yeah, most of your weapons and armor were magically crafted. You were able to pick it up from, a store for nothing. It's a communist society, in other words. And has been for years and years and years, and it was becoming that in Act 2, but in Act 1 really. But yeah, like everything you have, you basically went to the guy and said, I need some gear, I'm headed to Meridia. I don't know what I'm going to encounter on the road.
It's like basically
But
saying,
the
hey,
crown
3D
doesn't
print me
endorse
this
people.
shit. Magically 3D print me the stuff I need.
3D printer, magical printer.
But with magic.
Magical 3D printer.
Yeah, it's magic, dude. That's how it works.
Medieval Star Trek.
Yeah. Magic replicators, I like it.
What are we supposed to do while we're with these people?
I have no idea. I'm gonna watch them change, and then I guess change myself.
I don't think it'll be that bad. And who knows? Maybe it'll be good.
I don't really
I'm
want
kind
to
of
wait
excited.
and see.
Come on, it'll be fun.
Maybe for you, but
Look, I promise you that the aspect of victory will protect you, Zero. You have nothing to worry about.
I have friends in the church who, if anything does go wrong, might be able to remove some of these ailments.
well, I can at least trust the creator, I guess.
But I don't know what else we could do.
I need to put some faith in myself. And
I'm just gonna go around and ask all the different performers if there's anything they need, if there's anything we could do for them to provide some sort of service
Well,
for our staying here. If they need something handled, if they need something found.
I don't want to sit around waiting for this. Better busy ourselves with something.
Sure, there's something we can find around
Well,
here to do.
There's a lot of stuff you can do, so let me just pick one.
I'm just gonna go around
Yeah,
and ask,
so-
hey, is there anything you need us to do?
One of the performers would introduce himself. He's currently not performing, so you got a chance to talk with him. And let me see, which one is it going to be? Behold, this handsome young man, so tall and well-shaped, and with such a pleasing profile. Surely he has broken the hearts of many damsels. But I hear you gasp as he changes his pose. Don't be embarrassed. Everyone does when they see his flaw. That wriggling tumor growing along the left side of his face, that loathsome creature clinging to his neck and shoulder, well, it's enough to turn a weak man's stomach. And yet we can't help but look at it, can we? So go ahead and stare. Behold that singular lump of flesh with its limp, half-formed limbs, that drooling slash of a mouth, those wavering mismatched eyes, and be glad you do not suffer the same companion. For that, my friend, is the imp that the curious and the morbid pay to see. How did a young man of such pleasing demeanor come to be shackled to such a horror? Simple. It's his brother. George, meet Claude. He's the handsome one. You'll find him a fast friend and an excellent listener, and when the twisting gets its hooks in you, he'll talk you through the worst of it. That semi-formed appendage of his is quite mindless, I'm afraid, but Claude can see through its eyes. It's a gift from the twisting. Take a look in Discord.
His brother?
Yeah,
That
it's
is his brother.
Oh. It's not that bad. I expected something much worse.
In fact, we have his whole act built around that and passed
What
the
do you
imp
mean
off as
exactly,
having its
his
own
brother?
identity. Claude wears a blindfold, and I have Georges in the crowd hold up personal items. Then the imp whispers in Claude's ear, or so I cleverly claim, and blindfolded Claude tells the Georges what they're holding. A wee bit of puckery, I admit, but the imp drives the crowd wild. The imp also drove Claude's parents wild. Claude was born to some well-to-do Georges back in 729. He was a beautiful baby, or he would have been, except for that fleshy bit of baggage on his face. His mother screamed when she first saw him. The doctor offered condolences and said that cutting away the growth would kill Claude himself. The local cleric was summoned, and his advice was even more disappointing.
You sure his name is Claude? He
After
looks more
much
like a Quato to me.
That's not very nice.
Nobody else has seen the original Total Recall? Quato?
Nope.
The guy with the baby in his stomach?
Anyway, after much contemplation, he ruled that since the growth had its own head, it had its own soul, and so it would be evil to kill it. In fact, the cleric ruled they had to name both the growth and the baby to which it was attached. Thus did Claude become Claude. There's nothing unusual about the moniker, except that he's no junior. Claude's father refused to let his first son share his name. As for the growth, Claude's parents dutifully named it as well, calling it, or him, I suppose, importun. In the local dialect, it means something akin to unwelcome guest. Folks began calling Claude's brother the Imp long before he joined the carnival. Claude's childhood was no kinder than his birth. Thanks to his mindless, shapeless brother, he was treated as a monster and hidden away from decent folk. Naturally, he became surly and resentful. It was just when his rueful parents were starting to worry that Claude might be growing dangerously violent that the carnival first visited their city. When he was 16, Claude's parents took their disturbed son to the carnival, and that's where they abandoned him, washing their hands of him forever. The rejection was more than Claude could take. He lashed out, trying to beat his way past the troopers, who even then welcomed him to their family. He intended to vent his rage on his parents as they headed back into town, you see, and he almost succeeded. Claude grabbed a knife, but then Isolde came up on the scene. She grabbed the boy's wrist, brought him up cold, and effortlessly plucked the blade from his white-knuckled grip. This was before my time, but from what I'm told, Isolde and Claude share a singularly disjointed conversation after that. The mistress stared deep into Claude's eyes and then into the eyes of his brother. She asked him if he wanted to stay. "Why would I?" Claude spat back. "Then you may," said Isolde. From that moment or so, I've heard Claude's whole body stiffened. His eyes went white with fear, but then he calmed down, gave a tired smile, and quietly thanked her. Isolde declared that Claude's outburst had not broken Carney law, and Claude had been with us ever since. In all the time I've known him, he's never harmed a fly, but I'm certain that old resentment still lurks behind his eyes. The boy can't hold his liquor, you see. He's only gotten sauced twice that I know of, and the second time was the fault of some stupid George's puckery. A few sips of the grape, and Claude started shrieking about how the imp had enslaved him. He tried to cut off the imp. Thankfully, we stopped him before he could kill himself in the bargain. With that sort of outburst, I sometimes wonder if the twisting maybe didn't dig into him further than he'll let on. But he's generally such an amiable fellow that I hate to pry.
So what do you need from us, Claude?
Hold on. He'd say to you, every year for the last few decades, a tribe of very pale little bandits has pestered us anytime we're near Meridia. They strike at night, stealing animals from outlying farms for a week or two and then move on. But this year something's new. They're nastier and they're not leaving. Moreover, carnival flyers have mysteriously appeared, posted on some homes and businesses. Paranoia is growing. Some villagers believe that the flyers mark those who are secretly in league with the Night People. The worst target of their suspicion is Blaze. B-L-A-S-S-E. Blase? Blase. A 16-year-old albino girl who works at the inn, the Harried Harpy. She was abandoned at the inn as an infant. The innkeep and his wife let her stay, raising her to be a good maid. She's very shy and withdrawn, even a little touch perhaps. The village boys tease her, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, investigate this, the pale little bandits. That's the plan. That's what they need.
Cool. Let's try and talk them out of their life of crime and teach them that they can do better.
Probably the first place to start. So just in case I went too fast, the carnival flyers mysteriously appeared, posted on some homes and businesses. Paranoia is growing. Villagers believe that the flyers mark those who are secretly in league with the Night People, and Blase, the 16-year-old albino girl, received a flyer.
So let's go defend Blase.
Maybe, I don't know necessarily defend. Maybe talk to her and see what her opinions on it are, or him, her. Yeah, girl. Yeah.
Okay, let's go then.
Yeah. So she works at the inn. She's, the I guess you'd call her a barmaid. And you can clearly pick her out of the crowd as she is albino. She's wiping down tables, bringing beer, making conversation with the locals.
Okay.
I'll walk up.
Do we have
to
a ranger
her.
with us?
Oh wait.
Do we have a ranger with us?
Yes.
Do we have somebody with a perception passive over 15?
Yes, you.
I have a 15. That's it.
That's good enough. As you walk in, you would hear a couple of villagers who are talking in hushed tones. You hear words like "bring the others," "dawn," "blase," and then "lynch."
You inform us.
Where are we at?
In the tavern.
The inn.
Or the inn.
You're in
Yeah.
the Harried Harpy.
Hold on.
So only Sinal noticed this.
No, only George noticed.
Yeah, I put 2 and 2 together. Yeah, I think they talking about the that blast. What was her name? The
Blase.
blast. The
Blase.
blast chick.
What did they say about her?
I don't know. Something about drinking winches at dawn. Something I don't know.
Are you sure? Are you sure that's what was said?
Don't forget I've been drinking this whole time.
I know, but this could be very important, Baylor.
That part was OOC. I guess bench. I don't know. It could be a new type of drink. Maybe she's a bartender.
He does work here. We do know that.
Okay. I'm gonna walk up to the bar and order a lynching.
I don't think you should do that.
It was a joke.
Actually, do go over to the bar and order a lunch. I'll take the lynching, Don.
So you're going to the bartender and not to the.
I would like
She's
to
a waitress.
go to over to, let's say, she doesn't look too busy.
I'll go with him over to her.
And get her attention. I'll
So,
ask
so you would hear the bartender slam his hand down on the bar and said, "What'd you say, dwarf?"
Yeah, heard me. Yeah, what is it with people and not understanding a dwarf? I'll take a lynching, Don. You do got that drink here, right?
Oh no.
Never heard of it.
Me neither, but those guys were talking about it. Sounded good. Hey, so
The two of you who are walking up to the barmaid, you would see her face kind of go paler than albino,
So say,
and she scurries to a back
can I-
room.
Oh no. I was like, hey,
I-
wait. It's not.
Can I go on active perception?
Sure. What are you trying to perceive?
She went to a back room, right? So he said,
Yeah.
wait a
Looking
second.
for anyone suspicious, like going to walk towards her, or Um,
Wait a second. We're still in Meridia, right?
anyone with a
Yes.
weapon? Stuff
Would I-
like that.
I mean,
Would I
everybody
know-
has weapons.
Would I know this bartender since I'm a brewer in Meridia?
Yeah, you probably know the bartender by name. Maybe he was a, you don't deal with the bartender when you sell beer, but like you
Well, I mean,
go to
if you're-
bars a lot.
usually the bartender's like the owner of the tavern in like these places, right?
Not in Meridia.
Actually, I'm going
In
to
Meridia,
focus
the
on.
taverns are owned by the crown.
I'm going to focus on hearing things about Blase and lynching. Like focus on those two words.
Okay.
And try to hear. So should I roll perception?
Yeah, you
for
can
that?
roll a perception check. Sure.
I'd like to walk up to the door, blase what ran into, and then knock at it and go, "Excuse me, miss. I just had a couple questions for you."
Yeah, I'm with Siron or Sinal, sorry. And,
Yeah, Siren, you
Yeah.
definitely detect that there's a group of like 3 guys in the corner who sound like they're making devious plans. They're talking through the strategy of a kidnapping.
yeah,
She would crack the door for the 2 of you who walked up to the door, and she'd say, "Sorry, I'll be with you in a minute."
all we want to do is talk, okay?
That's all right. I'll wait.
No harm. We have no intention of hurting you. We just want to talk.
Okay, I'm going to sit down and keep watch on those 3 people.
Okay.
Like, sit
Do you have
down
a
and
question,
empty
Bramble?
I just was just gonna see how she felt about the flyer if we get a chance. What she thinks about it.
She would grab you, the 2 of you, and pull you into the room with her,
All right.
Whoa! Oh,
and shut the door
okay.
behind you.
Oh man.
And she would, she looks positively terrified. She knows that people are suspecting those who get flyers, and she would say, she doesn't have any idea how she got it, and she's not in league with the night people. She's just a barmaid.
Real quick,
It's
as
okay,
she's
miss.
doing this, can I use my divine sense? That's how that works.
Sure.
What do I like? I register if she's evil, it registers the noxious odor, and good rings like music in my ears. 30.
I'd just like to say, miss, if you have nothing to do with them, that's quite all right. But unfortunately, it seems that some might feel that you do, and you might need some protection.
Do I feel anything coming from her? My divine sense.
You do. Hold on a second. Looking through a stat block. Yeah, you don't detect either noxious odor or whatever the other one was.
All right,
She's
that's
neutral.
fine. That's good. I'm good with that. I'm gonna relax a little bit. Okay.
What was it you asked, Sinal? Sinal.
Just that, if it was fine if she had nothing to do with them, we understood. But that unfortunately, some people may think that she does, and she might need our protection.
Hmm. How would you protect me?
Well, I have the power of God on
Come on,
my
boy.
side.
Stranger on. How would you protect me?
Please don't do that. That's weird.
With beer.
You're not in the room.
We'll get them very, very drunk,
I mean, I'm sure if it came down to it, if you wouldn't mind,
and then
you
they
could,
will forget the entire plan.
you could come back to the carnival with us. It wouldn't be a problem. Be probably safer there.
They would gladly take you in.
Yeah, I don't know if you know him, but
No. She would say, those freaks scare me more than the people do. I can't. My suitor will rescue me.
your suitor.
Yes.
Is that what your flyer said?
No. My suitor. I met him a while ago. He's a gentleman caller.
Huh?
I'm sure he'll save me.
If you want, we could hang around here for a little while. Make sure nothing happens. And yeah. I don't know.
I'm sure if you would like to, the rooms upstairs are available. You are welcome to stay.
Sure.
Can we have a description of this the suitor, just in case we don't overreact? What his name is?
No,
No. Okay.
no, I don't feel comfortable with that. He's a beautiful man. That's all I'll say. And I know he'll come for me. He's maybe the only person who's ever really made me feel wanted.
Well, a beautiful woman such as yourself should not keep yourself in the hopes of some mysterious man. But
Don't say that. Look at me. Who would
I
want
see
me?
nothing wrong with you.
But you could see how other people might.
Real
No,
question
not
is, can you
entirely.
cook?
So I think it's probably best if I leave you and go back to my
Oh,
job. I
God,
don't want to
thank
get fired.
Beautiful. But we shall stay here vigilant over you to make sure that you are safe until tomorrow.
She kind of looks at you funny, like a real weirdo, and then leaves.
Oh,
So yeah, during this time, Siren has been sort of listening to the plan from the table nearby. Looks like they're talking about numbers. Maybe 25, maybe 35, maybe 40.
Siren, are you telling us this?
Siren can.
Like
whisper
after we talked to the girl, I'd come out and sit at the table with you.
yeah. When she left, we left. There was no point in us being in there.
Yeah, Siren would whisper the party what he heard.
I would stand up very abruptly and walk over to their table.
I
Take
would.
a glass of whatever liquid I'm drinking and pour it on one of their heads.
Could I grab him by the hand when he gets up to stop him.
Sure. Sure, you grab him by the hand.
What?
I mean, by the wrist.
What's the problem?
Sure.
Sit down.
But if we don't stop them now, they're gonna have too many to stop.
There has to be an upper security of some sort in this town, right?
Well, that was my plan, was to get them to do something stupid.
Yeah, I mean, there are guards. Plenty of them.
But how do we know that the guards aren't going
But
to
you
be
might
part of this mob?
suspect. Right, you would suspect that some of the guards probably would be.
I mean, then won't they just get out immediately? I mean, it's not going to accomplish much. Like, there's a lot of them. We need resistance.
Well, we could always just kidnap her ourselves. And you know, that's just me being the bad joke out of the idea. How do you stop someone from being kidnapped? You kidnap them yourselves.
Hey, that's how I got my first wife. What?
So,
Okay, go ahead with your plan.
so you let go of my wrist?
This is,
Lucky I'm only doing it with a beer and not like a vial of alchemist fire. My other idea is that if I can get them arrested for, you know, starting a tavern brawl, that they won't be able to do anything tonight.
But what if they're not the leader?
These don't seem to be the masterminds. Yeah,
Yeah,
so these
There
guys,
would still
you
be less
could do
people
this,
involved.
but it looks like they're relaying the plan to each other, and they're just kind of parroting.
You know what? I have another idea. I'm gonna walk up to them and go, "So guys, I heard about the plan. I need to know more details so that I can make sure we got everything ready. I'm supposed to bring the rope, right?"
Roll a deception check. The plan? We're not familiar with any plan. What's your name, sir?
Me? I'm Sinal.
Yeah, Sinal. Yeah, we're just sitting here minding our own business. I don't know what you think you heard, Sinal, but
But
might
I
be
was
best
sitting
if
right
you,
next to you, and I heard you
go
all
back
say
to
that you were, you know, getting together in the morning so you could lynch that beautiful.
slams
nice
the
girl
table.
over-
I don't know what you think you heard, but maybe you should go back to your table.
No, I know what I heard. I don't think I heard anything.
They look at
Seems
each
on the
other.
table at this point. I am rising.
And then I come over and I pull him back.
And when you stand up, they stand up. You see
Now,
one of
now,
them grab
gentlemen,
Sinal by like the.
Don't want to make any mistakes this evening. I was just trying to see if you could use any assistance.
They throw you over a table. The one behind you that you were all sitting at. And they say, "Take your friend back. He's starting problems, and we don't want any."
Hey, how about a drink?
Now we're talking.
Hey, bartender, keep them coming. Matter of fact, I got my own stash. Here, guys. I'll pull out my own.
Yeah. What kind of beer do you brew?
I brew rum, ale, wine. This'll be the ale. Yeah. The Black Slag Ale.
Mmm, delicious. You're gonna get an experience point for telling something about your backstory.
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
one.
Definitely the ale's a nice touch. You got one.
Been talking about my backstory this whole time.
I know. Yeah, you're gonna get one too.
But yeah, I'll just get up and dust myself off and go. I have one of those as well. I don't think I've had enough this evening.
Nah, you get the slag white rum.
Ooh. I take the rum and I sit down.
Yeah. After a few minutes, they kind of they finish your beer dutifully and politely.
What race and
They stand up, leave some. A human.
human? I want to get them drunk.
Yeah.
I just keep on bringing out
Mm,
more and
they-
more drinks. I was like, start getting them through.
They drink a
tavern
second one.
songs and stuff.
After two, they're starting to refuse you. We really must be going. They appear to be, upper class people. They're not like bar rats. Thank you. We really appreciate your kindness. But we really must be going. We're sorry about your friend, but he probably needs to learn boundaries.
Yeah. I don't know. I heard something about an altar boy some time ago. That just, it's they try to learn, but you never really know. It's I just start mumbling in Dwarvish and mixing it in with Common every few words.
Well, yeah. Enjoy your ale, and then they walk out.
I look at Siren and go, "You should follow them."
Yes.
Yeah, they should be drunk enough after that ale. They're not dwarves. They shouldn't be able to.
They're definitely tipsy.
I could probably track them with this armor, and they wouldn't be able to notice me.
Sure, you want to send Siren by himself? It could end badly.
Well, I just imagine that he's the most apt of surveillance, and then we can
Yes.
just follow behind him farther back.
Yeah, okay.
Or,
Like, he stays close, follows them, keeps an eye, stays stealthy. We stay farther back where we don't have to worry about that.
or he follows them back to wherever they're going, and then comes back, gets us, and then we all go.
Yeah, that was my general idea.
So in the meantime, I'll take another beer.
So
Cyril will follow them out.
Check.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, you're able to stay in the shadows. They walk a couple of blocks away, shake hands, and two of them head in one direction, one heads in another direction.
Okay, I'm going to note where the direction of the lone one going, single one going, and then follow the two people.
You would actually see the single one turn into a shop. Looks like he's, he turns into a basic provision shop. Foodstuffs, flour, and not adventuring supplies, not weapons, just bread and grapes, olives. The other two head the opposite direction. But it looks like they're, kind of going about their business. They're not heading back. There's no hideout. Yeah, it doesn't look like they're heading back to a hideout. Like, it's a lynching. You would probably put two and two together and be like, yeah, they're all going to meet up somewhere tomorrow. You could stay on one all night if you liked.
Oh, we could also just go to the guy who left alone and go to his shop, get in there and start questioning him in the middle of the night.
I don't think that was his shop. He was just there, stopping there to get some stuff on the way home. But
Yeah, he walks out a couple of minutes later with like a big bag of fruit.
Some rope.
And it looks like a small doll. And it looks like a small doll.
So, are the rest of the party following me as well, or are they still at the tavern?
we are.
They're staying far enough back where they can keep an eye on you.
Yes.
Okay. So, do we want to follow him to his home or enter the shop? To question the shopkeeper, maybe?
I think we could also ask the tavern keeper if he knew of any of the idea of the stuff. 'Cause apparently he's raising the girl.
Yeah, right.
So why not go ask him? You know what I mean? He, I think, would be more willing to come forward with information than someone who has no acquaintance with her.
Okay, let's do that.
We can tell the bartender what we've overheard, what their plan is, and say that the one who pushed me over the table is one of the conspirators if he knows who he is or who he might be associated with. You did say they are fancier people, so they might be more noticeable. Or notable.
Well,
Yeah.
they're not nobles by any stretch, but they're not
Not noble,
the
but
typical
notable,
bar
as in,
trash.
you know, someone fancier is going to stand out in a low-end bar.
Well, it's not really a low end bar either. Yeah, so you can go ask him. Let's just do it that way. What would you like to say? You walk back into the bar. The bartender's wiping down the counter, as bartenders do.
Barkeep. We heard some distressing news while sitting over there at the table. I tried to say something to the party, and they pushed me over. Apparently they have some plans for the kind girl you have working for you. Some nefarious ideas.
Yeah, I've heard.
Are you just going to stand for this?
The man has no
Well, to be
legs.
honest, I'm not sure they're wrong. I just... Now, he starts talking quiet. That girl is strange. She... You know... Her
Thought she
hair's
was
white, her
blasé.
skin's ghostly, her eyes pink. She rarely, you know, goes outside. And for years, people have seen, you know, the night people, the creatures that keep coming into town. They look very much like her. And with the flyer in her room, even my wife is
I'm
fearful.
just gonna get up and
So,
walk away from him. Go find her.
She's floating around.
If no one else is gonna listen, they're not gonna listen to the rest of his story. I'm just gonna go up to her and go, "Miss, we really must get you out of here. It appears the barkeep is not the fondest of you and does not wish to see you safely through this evening.
Oh,
I know a
he's
place that
just
you will find."
trying to look out for... It's not him, it's his wife. I mean, she gives me the side eye every time she sees me, but, you know, my shift's almost over.
When your shift is
Where
over,
would you
why
like to
not
go?
leave here and come with us to a place that you can find safety? And maybe even your suitor will find you.
Okay. I really think that I should probably just go back to my room and... Oh,
Sorry, let me put my voice on. I really think I should just go back to my room and wait for my suitor.
But if in your room, we cannot protect you. If you come with us, we can protect you. You are not worthy of the fate that these people wish to bring to you.
roll a persuasion check.
I can't roll for shit today.
I don't know you. Maybe you're one of them. Look, just leave me be. I'll be fine. I'm sure.
I cannot
you'll-
leave you
you'll
be,
come for
ma'am.
me.
Madam, I cannot leave you be, for if I do, then I know the worst will happen to you and I will feel responsible. I was raised to help all that seek it, and whether or not you realize it, you need help.
I do not seek it. I do not seek it.
You need
I
it.
don't need your help. I don't know you.
Do you know your suitor?
Yes, the most charming man.
Well, just because a
He
man
loves
is
me,
charming
you know.
doesn't mean he has the best interest for you, neither do I. But I wish to make sure that you are safely through this evening, and no harm comes to you from that wicked...
You'd never let me
Group.
come to harm. You would never let me come to harm.
How can you be so sure? Where is he?
He'll come. I know he will. He promised he'd keep an eye on me.
What does the suitor look like?
Oh, the most beautiful man.
Well, that is a very objective thing. I find you beautiful, but you do not.
Yeah, she doesn't really respond well to your compliments. She gets like, and not like embarrassed. She thinks you're lying. And every time you say that, she gets more standoffish.
Well then, we shall wait and see and stay here to protect you.
I'm gonna go up to my room now, and when the bar closes, you're welcome to take rooms. But I think it's best if I just say goodbye. My suitor will come. I know he will. And then she, goes in the back room, takes off her smock, takes off her dirty rags, and goes upstairs.
Well, I guess we should just wait then.
Yeah, we can take watches. Like when
Now,
we
if
stay
you
up at
wait, you can expect to fight 30 people tomorrow. If you have another plan, I noticed nobody's suggested kidnapping her, yourselves.
I did,
I'm actually concerned.
but I can't do that in character because my character would never actually volunteer that.
I'm actually thinking about using
Actually-
poison.
Is your
inside my beer
character
now.
chaotic good, or
Chaotic good, yes.
then
So,
you would totally
he would
kidnap her
accept
for her
the
own
idea,
good?
but he would never propose it.
Sure he would. That'd be like Robin Hood.
Well, guys, what do you say? Take her, make sure she's safe, and we can always just return her tomorrow.
Why not just make a guess about her suitor?
Why
But
not
we
just
have
set
no
up an
idea if the
ambush?
suitor can help her, if the suitor is even... What if he's just another member of the crowd looking to win her favor so that it's easier to
I
get her
hear
to
an-
come out?
I have an idea of who her suitor might be.
Why don't we just set up an ambush? They have to come get her in order to do whatever
Yeah,
it
so
is.
Because you
Siren
can't
is
really
on the
ambush
right
a crowd
track.
that large with this small of a number.
Siren, you know who the suitor is. Yeah. You want to reveal what your who you think the suitor is?
If I could remember the name, to be honest. Anyway, it's the person like with his brother that's inside him, like
Claude.
Oh, the guy at the carnival.
Claude in the
Claude.
imp.
yeah, Claude. It's my
Why not we
Claude.
just get then?
Yeah, so
If you say that, I would say then why not we just go get Claude to talk her to coming with us?
so I'll relay a story
She-
to you that you've all heard.
Does she not know?
A very
that
religious man
Claude-
was once caught in rising floodwaters. He climbed onto the roof of his house and trusted God to rescue him. A neighbor came by in a canoe and said, "The waters will soon be above your house. Hop in, we'll paddle to safety." "No thanks," said the religious man. "I've prayed to God and I'm sure he'll save me." You guys all know the story?
Yeah.
And then he drowns and he says, "God, what the hell? Why am I in heaven? I prayed for you to save me. I trusted you." And he's
Like, I
like,
said
"Yeah,
all
you
those
did. And I
things
sent
to
you a
save
canoe,
you.
you
I
asshole."
sent you the boat. I sent you the canoe.
Right. So
No, I know.
her
And that's what
suitor
I'm gonna
has
do. I'm
sent
gonna
you.
say, why don't we go get Claude and ask Claude to help to talk her out of leaving this place?
Claude can't leave the carnival. I'll save you the trouble.
So.
Okay, somebody else has
we
to
know
talk
what
to her
room
because
she's
I
in.
haven't been able to roll for
We
shit.
know,
tonight.
we know what room she's in.
Okay, I'm going
Yeah,
to.
you could.
All
know
right,
what
I
room
would like
she's
to
in.
go knock on the door real quick.
Yeah, I was
See
going
the
to.
answers.
Able to roll for shit this evening.
"Go away," comes the voice.
What if we take you to
Claude,
your
just say the
yeah,
suitor's name so it
Claude?
doesn't.
What
Look,
if
I
we
think-
take you to Claude?
I think it's actually us who your suitor sent.
Claude sent us here. Yeah, what my friend Cyron is saying. Claude sent us here to find you.
I don't trust any of you. Go away.
Why would I lie to you?
My suitor will
Tom.
save me. Go away.
Claude, yes,
Your
we are
suitor-
the savior
suitor-
that was sent.
Sent us to save you. At least that's what I can guess from this.
We are friends with Claude. We know who he is.
I don't believe you. I don't know any Claude.
Please.
My suitor will save me.
Okay, I'm about 3 steps away
Yes,
from
it'll
the
save
break
me.
down the door, kidnap her, and bring her to Claude and let it all work out from there.
I'm still just drinking.
Don't come in. I'm armed.
I'm not.
We know you're armed. We saw both of them earlier.
I have no intention of breaking down your door.
Madam, the handsome man with the other small person on his neck sent us to make sure you were all right. We heard that they are trying to kill you.
My suitor doesn't have a small person on his neck. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Go away.
I wonder
I
if
don't
she
trust you.
knows.
Oh. Well. I don't know what to do anymore. I'm
So
still
let me get this straight. Blase, you would rather not trust us and let them kill you tomorrow than take a
You don't
chance
believe
with
us,
us.
Just ask the tavern keeper. He knows of the plot.
Take a chance with us that you might live to see tomorrow.
And see your suitor.
We will take you to Claude. I swear it on my honor as a paladin.
She opens the door and says, "Sage has had enough of this shit. Fine, I'll go with you."
Get ice cream on the way if it'll make you feel better.
Ooh, I want rum raisin.
Is that an albino joke?
Let's
No,
just go.
I don't know how that would be an albino
Alright.
joke. I was honestly just saying, let's get some ice cream. It sounds
Ice
good.
cream's white.
And
Not
it's
all
black.
kinds of ice cream are white.
All right, so
I think you're the one making the albino joke.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, like I went
Look,
straight for
let's
rum
just
raisin
go.
because I'm drunk.
We need not waste our time.
But ice cream.
I'm more of like a mint chocolate chip kind of guy.
So we're not getting ice cream.
what is mint?
You know that green stuff that makes your mouth feel all fresh?
Yeah, mint's a plant, Sage.
Uh-huh.
It's like sage is a plant.
Peppermint has been a plant that's been used in food for the longest time.
It's a
I've never
plan.
heard
Now
of
let's
this
go.
plant.
Well then, another thing we shall have to show you.
All right, she doesn't get out much. Sure. So she'll walk out the bar with you, and you're heading back over to the carnival then. All right, you guys ready for this?
Yeah, I feel like we're about to be ambushed.
Bum, bum,
Well, it
bum.
was nice knowing
Find
Baylor.
the city map.
What do you mean? We're gonna be fine.
Oh, we're missing a guy.
You gotta have some confidence.
And Sage likes his level 1 crits.
Oh, you'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Well, they can't
What is
find
Baylor?
us
Is
if-
Baylor a cleric, right? Or you're a paladin, right? I don't remember now.
In
Well,
Jamtil's a paladin.
just
Sivon's
assume I'm
a
a
ranger.
cleric.
Sinnoh's a cleric.
Hey, I
Paladin.
remember that arena.
Arena.
Whoa, he just switched us to a map that we were in once that I was
Hey,
the
I remember
ringmaster
this
for.
map.
What?
This is a map.
Oh,
I
it was
used
that
with-
arena. Okay.
with Zion.
Yeah, this is the map that we ended up having to watch Penny
This
ruin
is
an entire
definitely
day of
Meridian.
session.
I thought that was me.
Wait, you were the one who attacked the guards?
Yeah,
Oh. Yeah, then
that's
you
what I was
ruined-
saying, Keon.
Where are we on this? Cause
Could you ping again? Cause. Okay.
oh, do you want us to drop our tokens?
They were already dropped.
Oh, there they are.
Don't you see
What?
your tokens?
Oh no, I just it now did. It wasn't loading in.
Oh, someone just loaded.
Yeah, the roll 20 it kind of loads slow
That's the
sometimes.
girl, I would assume.
So bluey.
Okay.
Should our AC be appearing on the tokens?
It does for me.
Yes.
I don't see
I
the
only
token.
see a blue
Move speed
map
on the
and
left,
Put
HP
it
in the
in the
middle,
right side
AC
box.
on the right.
I still can't see our tokens.
Yeah, I don't have my AC on mine.
How long does it take to load?
Maybe I just need to refresh.
Okay, now it's loaded.
Sometimes
the
it
map
takes a
is,
little while. This is a
This is a very
big
large, very detailed map.
The map is now a high resolution, but our tokens are not there.
Oh no, the map is very high res. So I'm guessing this isn't just one high res image, but a bunch overlap next to each other.
Yeah. Yeah, the brightness of two are different. Like here. Yeah, because Roll20 wouldn't allow more than 10 megabytes of map files.
Oh, I know. I've had to scale down maps on multiple occasions.
There we are. Okay.
I still don't see my token.
Well, reload then. Sometimes that
And
helps.
refreshing your browser.
Yeah,
Okay.
I refreshed and it worked for me.
I hope the map is still in the cache after I reload.
You sound like you have European
Okay,
internet.
map's fine.
Wonder if this person knows that he can't use He-Man as his character's art.
Sage, could you ping me? Okay, now tokens are here. Thank you.
All right. Trying to find my monster. What are those things called? Shit. Can't remember.
So someone shouted, "Hey, we ambushed them, and now we are here."
No, something's about to come out and ambush you. I'm
Okay,
just
we
trying to
don't know.
find.
We're about to get
it's been-
ambushed while we're leading her back.
It's been 2 months since I played, and I don't remember what the monster's called.
It's the Metal Freak.
that- No, it's
Doppelganger.
those little green shit stains.
Oh,
Goblins?
they were like goblins, but they weren't
wow.
goblins. They were called something else.
Green Dragonborn.
No.
Oh, you know what? I'm in the wrong folder. That's what it is. I need to be in the Mythos folder. There we go. Nether things. No, not that one. Putridling.
Yeah, they hid in the really dirty areas.
That's the
Yeah.
one.
I remember these things.
What?
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
they're going
should roll
first.
my initiative again. Or
yeah.
advantage.
You're a ranger, right? Yeah. Go ahead and roll it again. Click your token first.
Click your token, then click on it on your sheet.
Nah.
Oh, before signal now.
All right, you ready?
Yeah,
So-
I guess.
Sure, why not?
As ready as I'm gonna get.
Does anybody
Is
speak
it normal to
Putridling?
find things like that?
I didn't even know Putridling was a language.
Yes, I do.
Do you really?
Anyways,
What do you
I'll
think?
tell you what I speak.
But you would have to have the language
some people s-
putridly.
Does
Come like
somebody
yeah,
speak
like the-
Goblin?
No. Just Dwarven
Okay.
common.
You can
Just
probably
sounds like
make out a word that has been imported from Goblin. So it's the Goblin word for queen.
Oh,
Queen?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, ain't they cute? Hey, can I keep one as a pet?
Yes. Prefer
I
not
think
to
I'm-
kill them. They are small creatures that...
Hey, maybe one of these things is George.
No, we already figured that out. You're George.
No, I'm
These
Baylor.
things are clearly
And I'm Sinal.
going
What's
to
your AC,
strike us,
Baylor?
attack us, right?
20.
and one.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Well, one hits you for 5 piercing damage.
It's so much.
Bites you. Tries to stab you with a stick and bites you.
So by the way, I should,
Jam Tiln.
All right,
I
I'm
should
going
go
to right
before
here.
Sinnoh.
And I'm going to swing at him with
Okay.
my great axe.
It's a hit. Siren.
Madam, don't run too far. We can't defend you back there.
Is it normal to find such creatures in a town like this?
They've clearly come from somewhere else.
Yeah.
But it is normal to find these creatures in caves and dungeons and things.
Okay. I think
You
I can
notice
only
also
draw
they
one
have a very
weapon.
putrid stench.
I think I can
Steve,
only
the
draw
first thing
one
we're gonna do
weapon,
with you is give you a bath.
within a single
Right.
turn. Okay. So I'm going to draw my scimitar.
Actually, just pull. If you've got two scimitars, pull them both. It doesn't matter.
I
Trying to get rid of the
normally
tedium.
dual wield the scimitar and the hand axe.
More than
Go
likely, you
for it.
can have them both ready. They did run up to us. Well,
Okay.
like I'm guessing.
We should
It's not like
probably
they
form,
got the
a
surprise on
barricade.
us.
What are you
I
gonna do,
think the
Siren?
only time your weapons are stowed is if they have the surprise on you, right? And like that's the only time it would really become an issue.
I will tell you, and I'm
Yeah.
telling you, just have them out.
Okay.
What are you doing, Siren?
So I'm going to go here and attack with
Oh,
my
I just realized I've got to set up my observer tokens. I totally forgot about that. Observer. Bam.
Don't worry, people.
Now
There hasn't
Twitch
been
can
anything to
see.
see until now.
Okay. Let's see. This here.
Is there actually anybody
I
watching?
haven't gone before them, so I don't have
Yeah.
advantage.
Correct.
Just roll.
Yep.
So still alive?
Sinal.
Wait, is this still alive?
Still alive.
Okay, then I'm going to use a
Still
bonus
alive.
action to attack my hand axe.
You kill it.
Okay.
No, Steve.
One's down.
Let me make sure they're all in range.
He was only playing.
Yep. Or no, not that one. I meant to do Bane. Bane on the three of them.
Yeah, bless them
Okay.
all. Why not?
They all fail. And you're picking up some more words in Goblinoid. Sounds like they're saying, you can't hurt the queen. Give us our queen. They're just yammering. Baylor.
So only Baylor understands those.
No, I'm not understanding nothing. Well, crap. Well, shit. I guess I got to teach Joffrey here a lesson.
Crunch. He's dead.
Drop an anvil on his head.
Oh.
I knew it was too easy.
One hit on Baylor for 6 damage.
Minus the D4. Attack.
Oh, that's a miss. That's a miss. Flat 20. And 3 misses on Sinal. Jamtilm.
I'm gonna turn to behind me to her and ask, "Do you know these things they're talking about? Like we hear like random words like queen, protect, anything." To respond.
You would notice that these. So no, she's she's terrified of these things. She's like hiding behind a box or something. But you would know, now that you've had a chance to kind of engage with them, typically putridlings are like this green shade you see here. These are all more of an albino shade. They all look very similar to her.
Oh.
So
Huh.
these are also albino.
They're like they're trying to protect her, guys. Look, I don't know. I can't speak Goblin, so I'll just say, look, we're not hurting her. We're helping her. Don't know if it'll do anything. No hurt. And then I guess
Yeah,
I'll just ready an
pretty dead
attack in
set on
case
you
one of
hurting
them
her.
keeps attacking. Yeah. I'm just like, no hurt, and I'll ready an attack if they keep going on.
Yeah, they're not going to stop. Siren.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Okay, if they aren't
They're
going to stop,
dumb.
then I'm
Dumb. Int of
going to
6.
here.
And there's a language barrier.
Yeah.
And attack.
Yep.
Then the hand axe.
Dead.
Oh, wait, it's dead. Oh my god.
Yeah, me too.
Sanal, please make a con save.
You didn't say something. You just said, please make a.
Thinking. You took a vape.
Con save.
Okay.
So the stench almost overwhelms you, but you're able to not throw up everywhere.
Well,
Go
I'm
on
going
and,
to take one of
take
those
your turn.
ones up on the roof up there and ring a bell for him.
Okay, it's a hit. Baylor, make a con save. Yep. Again, you almost throw up, but you're able to hold it down.
Cool. All right. Well, Jimmy over here, he needs to be taught a lesson.
I wonder. You guys are saying my voice is cutting out?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, how about now? Is it cutting out less?
Seems to be fine now, yeah.
This is fine.
We'll know in the next cutscene.
You'll have to keep talking or something. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
I had voice activity set, so it was like always playing. It was trying to cut in and out to keep the mic silent. I just realized that. So if I was too quiet,
Get up.
she may get some static. But yeah.
By the way,
Right, so Baylor,
I asked the
crunch.
question in Discord.
No, you've got to tell it. You got to share it with people.
Well, I. Well, not all people would want to
Just
share
tell
their
people why.
backstories.
You don't have
Okay,
to
well,
necessarily
then
share a part of your
we'll get as
backstory.
much
Just
praise.
talk about who you are as a person, kind of thing. I think is
You have
the
to
more
share
is
some of your
for
backstory.
your character to get introduced more.
Can I get my ready to attack or no?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So pick one and it's dead.
Yeah, just that's all one I can reach.
Okay, that one could hit. It misses. Bane's doing work. They all miss. Jam Tilm.
Alright. Seeing as they're not stopping, I'm gonna rear my head back and use my acid breath. It's not much. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Siren.
my turn.
Okay, so I'm going to attack this one with my scimitar.
Oh, Siren, make a con save before you start.
Oh, yeah. Okay. One here.
You're good.
Okay, I'm going to be like, and then attack.
That's a miss.
Bone section and axe.
You nick him. So now,
One directly to my right.
so he's missing HP, so he takes full damage. Okay. Dead. And
All right,
these are all
Monte.
new ones that are not baned, right?
Yep. Bane is now over.
Okay. Baylor.
All right, Monty. Time to teach you a lesson.
Wait, who's Monty? I still haven't figured out who George is.
I'm calling each one a different name. We've got Steve, Joffrey, Monty, Jimmy.
Joffrey.
Al, and Tom. And Bob.
All right, one's gonna hit you for 6 slashing damage, Baylor. And one is going to crit Jamtiln.
Ow.
For 75 damage. No, just 8.
Alright. Oh man. Double wood's so scary.
Right? I'm lucky I had 14 HP.
I'm gonna
Jam.
swing with this guy in front of me. Oh, I missed.
Don't worry, I can save you, probably.
Maybe.
No promises.
I definitely can.
I got 5 points of late on hands.
Siren.
Okay. Here, my scimitar.
I also have Cure Wounds that guarantees a +5 to its healing, so
Okay, and
It's
axe.
an all.
the bloodied one next to Baylor. And I'll just take a couple steps
Baylor.
over here.
Baylor walks up and crushes it.
Alright.
Yep.
He's dead. You win.
Yeah.
All right. That's it. That's the end of the encounter.
Alright, go back over, make sure she's
Yeah, let's go over to Blase and I'm gonna go, "Are you alright, miss? Did they hurt you in any way?"
So, what was that all about now? Why are there creatures like this in the town?
I think they are albino, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, strange.
I think they thought of you as like some sort of leader. They were willing to protect you.
Is that important right now? Shouldn't we get her to her suitor
Hmm,
before the angry mob
interesting.
shows up to kill her?
Yeah, we can keep moving. I mean, we're talking as we're going. I mean,
Right. Okay. So you head back to the carnival. As you turn a corner, you see an angry mob of about 30 people marching down the street.
we need to get moving.
The base potion is 1d4 plus 2, right?
They
Base potion is 2d4 plus 2, but how do you have
1d4
one
plus-
without buying it with AP?
2d4 plus 2.
You can only buy them with AP?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
You can't buy them out of the player's handbook.
I thought we just couldn't drink more than one at a time.
No, you can't buy them.
Bah.
Anyway, the mob's rushing towards you. They're going to get you. You could try to run, but some of you are in heavy armor. They're going to get you.
Oh no.
None of us are
What are you gonna
slowed
do?
down by our heavy armor, though.
Matter of fact, dwarves can't be slowed down back because of heavy armor. It's a
Yeah,
racial
she also
trait.
has a movement speed of 25. Well, the mob's on you. You stand frozen as you decide what
No,
to do.
we're gonna run to the carnival. I imagine they'll be
you
able
run
to
towards
assist.
the carnival. The mob cuts you off. You're just outside the carnival when the mob cuts you off in the first place. They reach in with spears and sticks and hold you all at bay. Of course, these are just people. To kill them would definitely be murder. They're going to take Blase.
Take your hands
Blase
off
to
her.
Stop this at once. What is wrong with you people? You're gonna believe a rumor?
God wishes all their children protected. How could you dare try to hurt one of his beautiful children?
They
Well, I mean,
are beyond reason. They drag the girl to a tree, slip a rope around her neck.
Whoa! What can we do?
I'm gonna take whoever's pulling her to the tree and tying her up, and I go, I warn you, God shall judge you. If
One
he
of them
doesn't
hits you on the
stop, I'm
back of
going
the
to
head.
have a divine
So-
light shine down on him.
Has the so the crowd has
They're
the
tying her
crowd
up now.
encircled the whole area.
Yes. Yes, you
Okay.
are completely surrounded. They're dragging her out of the center. They're tying her up to a tree. And then the rope goes taut.
Oh, what can we do?
She jerks in the air, twisting and writhing. Just then, a single
can't.
blade spins out of nowhere and slices cleanly through the rope. She
You're
drops to
welcome.
the ground, coughing and gasping.
Okay, I guess I didn't have
A
to.
frightened
shoot the
murmuring
rope
begins
with
as
my
people
long
turn to
bow.
peer in the direction from which the blade was thrown. It's
Is it the carnival people?
it's not Baylor.
God
Yeah,
damn
no.
it.
Isolde stands flanked by two men, her eyes seething with rage. A glowing sword hangs at her side, and the two men twirl throwing knives in their hands. Their faces are white with skull-like designs. She draws her sword and strides forward. When she reaches Blase, she holds out her hand, simply saying, "This is no longer your home. I can give you a new one." Blase looks frightened, but remarkably, she takes Isolde's hand and the pair begins to leave. Passing the heroes, Isolde pauses. She gives you a nod of appreciation and a brother motions for you to follow.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow.
Although
See,
that
I
would've
told
been
you.
Yeah,
we could stay with
absolutely
these people.
following.
Look how cool they are.
I'm also gonna spit on someone in the crowd just randomly.
Okay, by the way,
Hey!
I have my
Oh,
longbow in
monsters.
my hand right now.
That would have been cool if my hand axe did it though.
Like I was about to.
I know,
shoot
but
the
I had
wolf.
to. I had to finish the story.
I was about to shoot the wolf with my longbow.
We were
Yeah,
Robin
so I
Hood.
follow the nice people from the carnival out. I'm gonna spit on someone in the crowd and just keep walking.
I guess
Yeah,
we know why they follow Zolador now.
Yeah, and
Wow.
Baylor just looks at you while he wipes away the spit.
I didn't spit on you. But if you want to, you can jump in the way.
Well, remember, I joined the crowd.
Yeah, but I wouldn't spit on just a random person in the crowd. It's not someone I know.
I know, but
He,
I'm
he would
short.
spit on the weakest person.
I was saying whoever looks the prissiest. Whoever looks like, you know, the nicest person, the nicest dressed and whatnot. Just you should all feel shame of
So that's
yourselves.
where we'll
and I
wrap
walk away.
up. There's you make it back to the carnival. You're headed with them. Maybe maybe this appeals to something in Solax's backstory a little bit at some point.
Yeah.
No, I don't know what to say, man. You gotta say something if you want the XP point. So everybody's gonna get an XP point for finishing the encounter and finishing the how did I describe it?
Investigation.
Contributing to finishing a defined objective. Yeah. You'll all also get a point for learning something new about the Rotlands quest. As you're walking back, Isolde would say, "We're packing up and moving out tonight. We're headed west. You're welcome to join us."
Well, you already commandeered my damn wagon. I might as well.
What's your purpose?
Sell brew. What else?
No, I'm
Try to
I'm
find people
asking
that
them.
have money.
Who are you asking, her or the Blade Warrior guys?
Blade warrior guys. Oh,
Us? Oh, my bad. I am.
Blade Brothers, they're called. Their purpose, I'll say, we're jugglers.
jugglers.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I got a game for the jugglers later on. I have them juggle, and then after a minute they drink a beer, and then after another minute they juggle, and then they drink another beer, and then we keep going to see how much beer it takes them to, so they can not juggle no more.
Sounds like a fun game.
Every 30 seconds they juggle, they take a shot.
This is a fun game. We would like to play it together with you standing between us. Don't worry. We won't harm you. Never. Simply stand to either side of you, flinging our knives at each other, letting them pass a whisper's breadth from your precious skin. It'll be amusing for the rest of us.
Okay.
Stand very still, and I may transform your pretty clothes into colorful tatters upon the ground, while all of your exposed skin shows not even a scratch. No, we would never harm anyone who offends us, not accidentally, mind you.
I said okay.
All right, well, you can play that game tonight. I will. I'll ask again. So we've got points awarded for Sinal and Baylor. Siren, you're going to have to share something on the backstory if you've written it.
Yeah, I've written it. But I don't know what I should share from that.
Did it remind you of a story of your youth?
You know, this reminds me of that time I almost got kidnapped by those crazy people.
Well, I'm not going to pull it out of you. It's just our first session, so I figure I'll remind you a couple times that that's pretty important. But we'll call it here. Thank you all for coming out.
Yep.
PM session starting in 20 minutes. Be sure to award yourself the appropriate experience. 3 for Baylor and Sinal, 2 for Siren and Jam.
And then
we
what
will
about
do a
that
vote
mysterious
on
fourth
Twitch.
point?
Yep, that's happening right now.
So how much does it take to level up?
4.
4.
So I got
So
2
basically,
XP.
either if me or you get the vote right now, we get to level 2.
Yeah. And if Siren or Jam get it, they become equal with you. Question is, who was the best role player, not an asshole, fan favorite? That's what we want to know.
Is this season where you want players to vote or no?
Yeah, I mean, you can all vote.
Okay.
Otherwise,
I was
we
just
wouldn't
checking.
How
have
about
any
no voting for
votes.
yourself?
You can't police that.
Fair enough.
I unfortunately voted for Shock, who I feel is going to vote for himself.
He did.
Because I know he's going to always vote for himself.
I don't have any megalomania. Or whatever the word is.
Narcissistic tendencies?
Yeah, that.
Kind of hard to decide when you are taking into account everything instead of like just role playing, just playing and like that.
It looks like Baylor's gonna win no matter what.
Yeah, it's because
He's
unfortunately
got
he votes for
4
himself.
votes.
Has anyone been watching from Twitch?
Yeah, 2 people, Dragon and NA, at least.
Oh, they can also vote.
All right, AP has been updated.
Yay, I got a level 2.
Congratulations,
Jam.
Baylor.
Wait, the vote ended already?
Well, we got 7 votes, which
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get more than
I think
7.
we're good.
So, is it just 4 for every level, or does it keep on
1
going
through
up?
5, 4.
The who?
It's levels 1 through 5. It's 4 points.
Okay. Where was all that at?
In Xanathars, right?
Yes, Appendix A of Xanthars.
Shared adventure.
My green screen messed up that game.
Xanathars,
Oh, I
there.
hate this green screen. Let me just cancel it.
All right. Well, I'm gonna head out then. Thanks for the game, guys.
All right.
Good
Thanks
game.
for coming.
Yeah.